Good afternoon, my friends. It's Simon Lown here from Two Way Digital, and today we're still going to be talking about your expectations for SEO and what can it do for you. Obviously, yesterday we were talking about a little bit about ranking on Google, and today I wanted to just cover about ranking on other search engines. Now, you may be thinking if you optimize for Google, you're optimizing for all, but that's not necessarily the case. So one of the things I just wanted to clear up before we got into the full expectations of what SEO can do for you is essentially what a search engine actually is. So before I dive into that, just a quick bit of housekeeping. If you're on the live, please do feel free to say hello. I'll say hello back if I see your comments. Give me a hashtag live, or if you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know you've seen the video. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, a like. If you're on a YouTube watching, then please do feel free to subscribe, and you'll get all of these videos in your notifications. If you've got any questions, obviously, let us know in the comments. Would really love to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and if you're finding these little bite-sized lessons useful. So, moving on, let's get on to the actual subject. What is actually searching? Can you rank on other search engines? Now, of course, the answer to that is yes, of course you can. But actually, the answer to what is a search engine might not be quite what you think it is. So Google obviously is the best known search engine, but that is specifically a web search engine. Pinterest is an image search engine, and Twitch, for example, is a video search engine. Now, there are obviously lots of different search engines for each of these types of platforms. But before you rush off and go and get your latest property tour video sort of uploaded to Twitch, thinking, if I can get my video ranked there, it might boost me on other search engines. Well, yeah, that is potentially a possibility. However, Twitch is actually a search engine. It's the largest search engine for live streaming games online. So what you've got to think about is what you're trying to rank. Does it suit the type of search engine that you're putting it on? Will it be easy to rank? Is there a lot of competition? And is there going to be an audience there? Is going to be another thing. So just because something's a search engine doesn't mean to say that you want to rank on it or will get any benefit from doing so. So let's, like yesterday, let's play another little game. Let's play top 5 search engines. So have a little think to yourself. What would you say if you had to, let's say you're in an exam and you've got this question in front of you and it's about your marketing and your business. What are the 5 top search engines in the world today? And I'm thinking about in terms of search volume, the amount of people that use those platforms for searching, how many times do people search on them every day? So give you just a second to think about that. Now, obviously, we've already discussed Google. You get no prizes for guessing. That's number 1 in the world today. 75%, I think, of all search traffic goes through Google. And maybe you got Bing, because that's also quite a big search engine. Well done. You just got number 5. Well, hang on. If Bing's 5 and Google's 1, what are 2, 3, and 4? So you can start to see all of a sudden things maybe aren't quite as straightforward as you think. Now, number 2, again, possibly no prizes for guessing this. We talked about video search engines and Twitch, but YouTube is obviously a search engine. It's the biggest video search engine out there, and it's also owned by Google. So when you think that Google and YouTube being owned essentially by the same company, having the 2 biggest search engines in the world for web searches and video searches, that's a powerful combination, and that's why everybody always talks about those 2 search engines for getting rankings. It's also why they're the most difficult to rank on. Number 3, now some of you may have guessed this, others maybe not, but actually number 3 is Amazon. Amazon is a search engine. Amazon have very few products of their own. They have very little content of their own. They essentially are a search engine for mainly shopping, but it's still a search engine. And similarly, although everybody thinks of Facebook as just a social media platform, it's actually the 4th largest search engine in the world. So again, when we're talking about ranking on Google and YouTube and getting onto Facebook, you're talking about you utilizing the power of some of the biggest search engines in the world. And so, this is why things are getting so difficult. And obviously, particularly in Facebook's case, it is a very different type of search engine. It is obviously very socially based, but it has the ads platform, and you can use hashtags and you can search for titles and find groups and businesses and people through that. So it's still very much a search engine, but it's just used in a different way. So ranking on it will be a very different prospect. Now, if you actually expand out into the top 20, if you actually go and do a search on Google for the top 20 search engines in the world, and not even necessarily by volume. So if you take out, Facebook and Amazon and things, and just look at the web-based search engines, there's going to be a lot of search engines in there that you've never heard of, but there are going to be some that potentially you could rank on them and you could potentially get a bit of traffic from them. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's something you should go and try and get ranked on all search engines, but you just need to have a little bit of a strategy behind what you're trying to rank and where. So, as an example, if you've got an infographic and you've put a nice blog post up on your website and it's got an infographic maybe at the end of the article that somebody can go and get downloaded, well, you might try and rank that on Google or Bing, or maybe even put it up on Facebook. But actually, if you go and put it on Pinterest, which is also a search engine, then you might actually get more traffic from Pinterest doing that than you would from, say, Google or Facebook. So having an idea of what search engines are and what they're useful for can be quite a powerful way of utilizing slightly different strategies for leveraging the traffic that's on them. So, in answer to the question, yes, of course you can rank on other search engines, but the caveat is you need to be aware of how to rank on them, what kind of content's going to work, and also, where your audience hang out on any given platform. So Pinterest and Facebook are thought more of as social platforms, and to a larger extent they are, but they are also search engines. So if you do it in the right way, they can be really powerful for getting traffic to your site and generating leads. I will throw in a quick disclaimer, because obviously this video might be around for quite a long time to come, but if you look in 6 months, a year's time, these results certainly could change. That's the nature of SERPs. Not everything stays where it is. New things will come along, things will go out of fashion, new features will be added to a platform. But at the moment, where things are, so we've got Google, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, and Bing as the top 5 search engines, and obviously you may not be able to utilize all of those. If you've got nothing that you want to sell on Amazon, fine, don't use it. But just be aware that when you're creating your content, it's not all about Google always, and there are potentially some other platforms out there that you might get traffic from that are far easier to leverage. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you find it useful. I hope it's something that you can use in your business at some point in the future. And if you've got any comments, please do feel free to drop them below or get back to you. And yeah, that's it for today. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a good day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Goodbye for now.